Hello children, how are you all, my dear cadets of class 8? Very good. So children, how did you all do in your exams? Monthly test, English? Okay, very good. So, today's topic is reported speech. You may find it slightly difficult in the beginning, but with practice you'll get used to it. So children, let's begin this session. What is reported speech? Okay. Reported speech is when you tell somebody else what you or a person said before. That is, you report what somebody else said. Okay? Distinction must be made between direct speech and reported speech. Okay, so direct speech. Look at that. She says, I like tuna fish. Tuna fish is a type of fish. Okay, so reported speech or indirect speech, how do you write it in that? She says that she likes tuna fish. See, the tense remains the same because she always likes it. Then the next one, she said, I'm visiting Paris next weekend. She said that she was visiting Paris the following weekend. Okay, am becomes was. Visiting remains the same continuous tense. Different types of sentences. When you use reported speech, you either report what? Statements, questions, requests or commands. Commands means orders. Other types are reporting statements. Reporting statements. When transforming statements, check whether you have to change the pronouns, the tense, the place and time of expression. These things need to be checked. Okay? Pronouns. In reported speech, you often have to change the pronoun depending on who says what. So it depends on that. On what? Who says what? Example. She says, my dad likes roast chicken. She says that her dad likes roast chicken. Tenses. If the sentence starts in the present, there's no backshift of tenses in reported speech. Okay. If the sentence starts in the past, there's often backshift of tenses in reported speech. Here, have a look at this. I write poems. He says that he writes poems. See here, the pronoun is changed from I to he. Okay. Write remains the same. The tense remains the same. That is why it says no backshift. Okay. Backshift means there's a change in the tense. I write poems. He said that he wrote poems. Present tense changes into past tense. No backshift means no change in the tense. Do not change the tense if the introductory clause is in a present tense. That is, he says. So if he says is there, it remains says only. Note, however, that you might have to change the form of the present tense verb. That is the third person singular. Example. Let's have a look at the example. He says, I write poems. He says that he writes English. Backshift. You must change the tense if the introductory clause is in a past tense. That means the main verb. He said. See? There's the main clause. I am happy happy. It begins like that. So said here remains said. He said that he was happy. Okay, I changes into he, am changes into was. Examples of the main changes in tense. Direct speech, reported speech means indirect speech. Okay, simple present. He said, I am happy. He said that he was happy. I changes into he. Yes, children. And the tense also changes here. Am into was. Okay, now let's have a look at this, children. He said, I'm looking for my keys. I'm looking means still looking. It's going on. He said that he was looking for his keys. So present progressive means continuous. Present progressive or continuous tense changes into past continuous. Present continuous changes into past continuous. Simple past. He said, I visited New York last year. He said that he had visited New York last year. Last changes into previous. This is a rule, okay? You have to remember there's no other go. So last year changes into previous year. He said, I have lived here for a long time. He said that he had. Have changes into had. I have changes into he had. He had lived here for a long time. Children, these things, you'll learn with practice. So nothing to worry. I'll do many more sessions on this, children. So nothing to worry. Past perfect. He said they had finished the work when I arrived. He said that they had finished the work when he had arrived. So I arrived changes into he, and arrived changes into past perfect. Had arrived. They had finished. He said, I was playing football when the accident occurred. He said that he had been playing football. Past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. Had been is past perfect. An ing added to the verb play becomes continuous or progressive. Therefore, past perfect, progressive or continuous. He said, I have been playing football for 2 hours. He said that he had been playing football for 2 hours. Have been changes into had been, that is present perfect, changes into past perfect. Playing is already there, which is continuous tense. So present perfect continuous changes into past perfect continuous. He said, I had been reading a newspaper when the light went off. He said that he had been reading a newspaper when the light had gone off. Okay, will plus verb. He said, I will open the door. Open is a verb, so will plus verb. Conditional, would plus verb. Will always changes into would. Yes, he said that he would open the door. He said, I would buy Mercedes if I were rich. He said that he would buy Mercedes if he had been rich. So the modal verbs could, should, would, might, needn't, ought to, used to do not normally change. So these are called modals. Would, could, might, may, shall, should. They are called what? Modals. Normally they do not change. He said she might be right. He said that she might be right. See, might remains might. Other modal verbs may change. Let's see. Can. I can do it. He said he could do it. So can changes into could. May I go out? He wanted to know if he might go out. Here he is seeking permission. May changes into might. She must apply for the job. He said that she must or had to apply for the job. They will call you, he told her. Somebody's telling somebody, isn't it? So he told her that they would call her. You changes into her. Place demonstratives and time expressions. Place demonstratives and time expressions. Change if the context of the reported statement, what is that? The location and or the period of time is different from that of the direct speech. Okay. In the following table, you'll find the different changes of place, demonstratives, and time expressions. Let's see. Today, children, this you have to learn by heart. You have to remember. There's no other go. These are the rules, okay? Today changes into that day. In which speech? Reported speech or indirect speech? Time expressions. Now changes into then. Yesterday changes into the day before. Days ago changes into days before. Ago changes into before. Next year, the following year. Tomorrow changes into the next day or the following day. Place. Here changes into there. This changes into that. These changes into those. Demonstrators, you're pointing out at something. Yeah. Reporting questions. What happens? When transforming questions, check whether you have to change pronouns, place, and all that. Yes. Yeah. So we have to check that. Why don't you speak English? He asked me why I didn't speak English. Somebody's asking somebody. Do you speak English? He asked me whether or if I spoke English. Requests or commands. Nancy, do the exercise. He told Nancy to do the exercise. Somebody's telling Nancy. Nancy, give me your pen, please. He asked Nancy to give him her pen. Tenses are not relevant for requests. She said, sit down. She asked me to sit down. She said, don't be lazy. She asked me not to be lazy. Children, look at some examples. Johnny said, I like to play. Johnny said that he liked to play. Johnny said, I am playing. Johnny said that he was playing. Johnny said, I have played the game. Johnny said that have changes into had, that he had played the game. Okay. Johnny said, I have been playing this game. Johnny said that he had been playing that game. This has changed into that. Johnny said, I played this game last week. Johnny said that he had played that game the previous week. Johnny said, I will play this game. This changes into that, children. Children, look at these examples. He said to me, where have you been? He asked me where I had been. My dad said, go to your room at once. My dad ordered me to go to my room. Here, dad is ordering. Jimmy said, I own a brand new sports car. Jimmy said that what? He owned a brand new sports car. My mother said, close your eye and open your hands. It should be your children. Close your eye and open your hands. My mother told me to close my eyes and open my hands. I said, what? I said to the host, can I have another piece of cake? I asked the host if I could have another piece of cake. The teacher wondered, will she be safe if she goes alone? The teacher wondered if she will changes into would. If she would be safe, if she goes changes into went. Okay? So these are the changes that happen. She told me he has never written to me before. She explained that he had. See, has changes into had. Never written to me changes into her. Yes, the shop assistant asked me, what size are your shoes? The shop assistant wanted to know what size my shoes were. Are changes into were. The administrator warned us, don't walk on the grass. The administrator warned us not to walk on the grass. My friend said to me, go to the doctor. Here, friend is advising. So my friend advised me to go to the doctor. The hotel manager said, dinner is served between 7 and 9. Is served changes into was served. My little brother said, I didn't steal the money. My little brother said that. I didn't changes into he hadn't stolen the money. Martha said, let's go to the movies. Martha suggested going to the movies. Then master said, all students are taking part in the project. So are taking changes into were taking. That is present continuous changes into past continuous. These are the changes. See a few more examples. Sarah complained, my head is aching. See, the initial part remains the same. Is changes into was. My changes into her. Change in pronoun, my changes into her. And the present tense changes into past tense. I wanted to know, where are you going? I wanted to know where he, she or they were going. Are changes into were. Uncle David said, please take off your shoes when you come in. So, you changes into we. He's telling us. Mom asked me, are you feeling well? Mom asked me if I was feeling well. The teacher said, turn the music down. She's ordering, so the teacher ordered us to turn the music down. Jasper said, borrow the book for a few days. Jasper said that I could borrow the book for a few days. Notice the changes. You changes into I, can changes into could. Johnny admitted, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. Johnny admitted that he hadn't brushed his teeth. Haven't changes into hadn't. I changes into the pronoun he. Notice the changes. The policeman ordered, move your car out of the way. He ordered us to move our cars out of the way. Mary said, I have just got back from New York. Mary said that she had. I changes into she, have into had. So John explained, I'm starting work for a new company next week. John explained that. See, I changes into he, am changes into what was. Next week changes into following week. These are some of the rules, you have to by heart. The teacher said, Sardinia is an island that belongs to Italy. The teacher said that Sardinia was an island that belongs to or belonged to. Here you may keep the same tense. Belonged to Italy. He asked me, can you come to the meeting tomorrow? He asked me if I could come to the meeting. Tomorrow changes into next day. Can changes into could. Yes. The manager said to Kathy, please stand up. The manager asked Kathy to stand up. Jerry asked me, did you see that car over there? If I had seen that car over there, that's a change that happens. You changes into I. Mr. Jackson said, I won't go there if I were you. Mr. Jackson advised me not to go there. Why advise? Because he's advising somebody. So therefore, the word advise has been used. Come on, children, you read these sentences and notice the changes. He asked me. He said to me, where have you been? He asked me where I had been. The question has to be changed into a statement. This you have to remember. Have changes into had. My dad said, go to your room at once. He ordered me to go to my room. Yes, so have a look at these sentences, children. See the change. Notice. Try to understand. Are you reading? Come on, children, go through these sentences and notice the changes and note down and try to analyze. Don't worry, this is slightly difficult. I'll do some more sessions, a few more sessions on reported speech so that you understand better. Don't worry, okay, children? So go through whatever I have done. Yes, and as far as vacation homework is concerned, I'll give you the questions. Yes, I've given you the topics like essay and all that. I'll give you specific questions on those topics. So don't worry. Have a nice time. Bye-bye, children.